We need to be doing it cleaner and better than ever before.
Police confrontations in the spotlight, interactions under the microscope, amid a chorus of calls for change. Hamilton County's 45 departments range from nearly 1,000 full-time officers to just one. Diversity and training differ just as much.
We don't just do training to say we did training. We do training that's relevant.
Blue Ash Police Chief Scott Knowles says as society changes, police training has to keep up. Every one of his officers has at least 8 hours of training in dealing with people who have mental health issues. Blue Ash officers get annual refreshers in that, de-escalation, and diversity training as well. But Knowles says several local departments concern him.
If an area does not have the funds to do it right, maybe that conversation needs to be had.
A conversation of dissolving departments entirely.
And it's not because their hearts aren't in the right place. They don't have the training. There's a lot of those agencies end up being training grounds. So what they do is they hire an officer directly out of the academy because they can hire them cheap. And then that officer gets a couple years experience and then leaves to go to a Blue Ash or a Montgomery or a Sharonville or a Springdale.
The Ohio Attorney General tells us currently the state does not require police agencies to complete annual trainings. By state law, it can't unless the state foots the bill. So each department sets its own training standards. De-escalation is a tool to help officers stop an encounter before it gets violent. 35 departments tell us they require it at least once a year. Newtown, Springdale, Colerain, Forest Park, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol train in de-escalation at least 3 times a year. My investigation of all 45 agencies in Hamilton County also found 17 departments do not require annual training on bias. 29 do not require diversity training on an annual basis.
We're in a rebuilding phase here. We have limited funds. But like I said, we have big city problems.
Mount Healthy is one of the small departments with a small budget, but with 40 years in law enforcement, Chief Vince DeMasi knows why it's critical his officers are well trained.
Getting all of us on the same page in terms of how we do policing will go a long way.
State Senator Cecil Thomas served as a Cincinnati officer for 27 years.
Unfortunately, there are police agencies outside of Cincinnati that do not have the financial budgets to do a lot of the types of training that Cincinnati police officers get.
Thomas strongly influenced Governor Mike DeWine's police reform plan. He says the General Assembly needs to fund state-mandated training.
One of the things I've stressed to the governor is that we may start thinking about a regional training academy.
Training isn't the only area where some agencies in our region are struggling. More than 30% of Hamilton County's population is Black, Hispanic, or Asian. But of all 45 departments, only 3 come close to reflecting that: Cincinnati, Woodlawn, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol.
The culture of your police department has to represent the makeup of your community.
The U.S. Department of Justice agrees in its law enforcement best practices released last year. The DOJ says diversity is a critically important tool to build trust. In Hamilton County, 16 departments are all white. 16 more have less than 10% racial diversity. While many communities have fewer minority residents than Cincinnati's urban core, officers don't only deal with their local residents. They police anyone driving through or visiting.
If you're in a community that's 25% or 20% African American and you only got 2% on the force, you're a problem waiting to happen.
And Chief Knoll has also reached out to the governor and attorney general. He wants to be a voice for medium-sized departments during these discussions about reform. Now, if you'd like to see the information we've compiled for departments in your neighborhood in Hamilton County, go to WLWT.com to see the full breakdown. Jatera McGee, WLWT News 5.